Cattus Island Park is right here in Toms River, so I'm sure a lot of you have been there. Some of you have been there, yeah. If you haven't been there, then let me invite the rest of you. In fact, today in Asbury Park Press's newspaper, we were voted the top park in Ocean County. So if you haven't been there, come and visit us. We are open every day. It's always free, and that's good to tell Mom and Dad. It doesn't cost any money to go there. And we have trails to hike. We have a playground. We have picnic tables. And the Nature Center, where I work, has a lot of things in it that are there to teach you about nature in Ocean County. So some of the things we keep are live animals, and those are only animals that can be found in Ocean County. Stuffed or taxidermied animals that aren't alive anymore. And even our pictures, our puzzles, everything in there is to teach you about Ocean County. Now we have things like turtles, snakes, fish, frogs, a jellyfish right now.
Jellyfish? They stink.
They stink. We have one in a tank. You could come and watch it swim in the tank. And today I couldn't bring all these animals, but I did bring 3 turtles and 1 snake. Now, could you do crisscross applesauce? Because you're taller than the guy behind you. Who's also sitting down.
Really?
Okay. So in this case, I have 3 turtles. Now, when we pick out the turtles to bring to visit, we pick out turtles that live in different habitats so that you can see some of the differences between, among them. Now, some things are different from turtle to turtle, but what's the same? What's the same?
The body.
The body. What part of the body? What special part of the turtle's body? The shell. Now they have a shell because it is good for protection. So it's a shell on the outside of their body to help protect the soft parts of their body inside. Now, the 3 turtles I brought, this is our first one. This is the eastern box turtle. And he's a forest turtle. He's a turtle that walks on dry land. He's not a swimming turtle. You can see he's got a tall shell because he doesn't need to be streamlined or thinner to slide through water because he's a walking turtle. You can see his color. Yes, sir.
I used to have a boxing turtle, but then we had to let him go.
Mm-hmm.
And he always liked to go in water.
It's always, well, they do need to drink water, and it's always best if you, and it's legal, it's illegal to keep it. So if you do see a box turtle and you want to see it for a while, but then always let it go. That's right, because they know best where their food is. Now, the box turtle shell, you can see, is kind of colors of yellows and browns. Sometimes even yellow and black. He has a really, really dark brown. And sometimes they're kind of orangey where the yellow is. And those colors are to help this turtle blend in. Because if you think about walking around in the woods, in the forest, down on the ground, well, not something creepy. I was thinking more about plain old leaves, like oak leaves that are kind of browns and yellows, pine needles, maybe a little darker dirt or mud, and they would blend in these same colors. Now, what do we call that when a turtle's colors help it blend in? Camouflage. So he's got good camouflage to live in the forest. And that shell is his protection. And you can see that the back covers his whole back. That's called the carapace. And his plastron, or his bottom shell, covers his whole belly. Now, on a box turtle, this plastron, this bottom, has 2 pieces. There's one here, and there's one up here.
He's
Yeah, you see, he would like to be this way and walking. But right there's a hinge. And when he gets frightened, he can put his head in. And he's not scared. He can fit his legs in. He can fit his back legs in. And his tail. Yeah, he's not frightened. And when he pulls everything and when he really is frightened, then he can close this part of his shell right up over where his face was, and he closes that like a little door, and then his shell protects him. Now, let's see, if I look around, I see you have sidewalk chalk in a box, and that chalk is protected by being in the box. Well, his body is protected by being in his shell. It's like having a box all around his body. So that's why his name is box turtle. Sometimes people say boxer turtle, like it's going to do this. But no, it's really box turtle for the protection of his shell. Now,
His hands like he's boxing something? Yeah.
I have an empty shell, and this is also from a box turtle that died. We don't know what happened or how old it was, but found this in the forest. And you could see after the turtle died, some of the scutes started to fall off. So they look kind of like this. They're thin.
Whoa.
And they kind of feel like a fingernail. No, it came from a different one because it doesn't really fit. But you can see the color's about the same.
Yeah.
So these start to fall off. And then you see this layer underneath. Now this layer is what makes the shell strong. So what do you think that is? What's that made of? Something in your body that's really strong.
Bones?
Bones. That's the part of the turtle's bones. If you look inside, right down the middle, you can see the spine or backbone. And the rest of the shell is made up of the turtle's rib bones. So think about your spine
He's
and
grabbing onto it.
Yeah.
Grabbing onto it.
Grab anything.
I want to go inside.
If you think about your bone, your spine, it's down the middle of your back, right? And then your rib bones are here. Right? You can feel them. Now our rib bones have space between them, but the turtles are hooked next to each other. And that's what forms his shell. And that's what gives him all this good protection. So I'm going to hand that to you. And here's the scoop too. And you can pass that along. So you can see them both. Now,
see the red eye.
the turtles and the snakes all have scaly skin. So you can see that pretty well on the box turtle, that he's got scales that protect his skin.
Aww.
Does anybody, I said both the turtles and the snake have scaly skin. Does anybody know what kind of group of animals both turtles and snakes are in?
Lizards.
And lizards are in this same group. Turtles, snakes, lizards, and those alligators down in Florida are all in a group that starts with R.
Frogs.
Frogs are not in this group because they don't have that scaly. Oh, I saw you have a frog in your tank though.
Yeah, it was in a tadpole.
It was a tadpole and you watched it change? Yeah, that's an
Frog
amphibian.
breathing.
But, yes, he's breathing. But both turtles, snakes, lizards, and alligators, all with that scaly skin, are all reptiles. I'm sure you've probably heard the word.
I heard reptile.
And all reptiles will lay eggs. So turtles hatch out of eggs. This turtle, when it hatched, was probably only about this big, about the size of a quarter on its shell. And it came out of the egg with a shell already on its back.
How does it do that?
It grows it inside the egg, and when it hatches out of the egg, the shell is already there. And then the shell grows, the head grows, and the legs grow, just like all your body parts are growing too. Yes, ma'am.
I have a book about reptiles.
Mm-hmm. So you can go back and look at it, see if it talks about turtles and snakes,
Or lizards.
and lizards, and
Or alligators.
alligators and crocodiles.
Some turtles, when they're babies, eagles or seagulls try to eat them. I
Yes.
they were
Yes, that's true. Yep, when they're small, you can see they'd be a lot easier to eat than this big old piece of bone. That would be a hard thing to swallow. That's good protection, keep them from getting eaten. Now, some of you noticed the color of this turtle's eyes. Can you see in the back? This turtle has red. Now, yeah, this kind of turtle, the eastern box turtle, you can tell the male and the female, the boy and the girl, from the eye color. Because males have red or orange eyes, females have yellow or brown eyes. So this one must be a male or a boy, yeah, a male. Now, the other way you can tell is if you look at the bottom of a box turtle's shell. See how he's kind of dented in here on his belly? This is the female's shell. See how flat hers is?
He's swimming.
Yeah, he would like to be right side up. Let me put him right side up again.
He won't walk. He wants to walk.
Yes, he does. I'm sure he does. Now, I brought 2 other turtles, and as I said, we pick our turtles, we put them in the case and bring 3 different ones because they come from 3 different kinds of places. So, no, they're all from Ocean County, but 3 different kinds of places in Ocean County. So have a good look at the box turtle, and then I'm going to get out the next one. Now, just in case, now, turtles are not sold in New Jersey anymore in pet stores because sometimes they have a germ on their shell called salmonella that can make people sick. Also, if the turtle's got a turtle disease, we don't want to give it to the next turtle. This little turtle, and it is...
Is he going to pop out?
When he relaxes, right now, there.
It popped out.
Yep, you have to be quiet enough so he doesn't feel scared. So this little turtle is a young painted turtle. And you can see it gets its name from the stripes on this, the orange color here on the side and the yellow on the neck, because somebody saw it and said, that looks like Mother Nature painted some colors on it. Now its shell is thinner, and if he come on, relax. If he relaxes enough to stick its foot out, you'll see it has webbed feet. So like your frog over here.
His tail is out. His tail is that one's.
Yes, that one.
That one's like this.
Yes. This is a turtle that is a freshwater swimming turtle. So to help it swim, it has webbed feet. It has skin between the toes, like ducks or like your tadpole that's turned into a frog. Why is it called Eastern turtle? Do you have a map? Here we go. So have you learned your directions? That east goes to this side of the country, north is up here, like North Pole, south, and west. So New Jersey here inside this circle, you notice we're way on the east part of the United States. So a lot of our animals are called Eastern box turtle or Eastern painted turtle. We're also, if you took the country and you cut it in half, see how Florida's way down here, and we're on the northern part. So some of our animals are called northern, like northern pine snake. This is Canada up here, and this is the Great Lakes.
Canada's big.
So yes, a lot of our animals are called Eastern something, because which is why if you go over to the ocean, we're not too far from the ocean, right? Because we're at the edge of the United States. Okay, so that's our Eastern box turtle. Now the painted turtle. The painted turtle has a different kind of camouflage. It's called counter shading. So if you think about it living in a pond, if it was down at the bottom and a predator looked down and it was down on the muddy bottom here, we'll pretend your teacher's chair is mud. If he was down here on the muddy bottom of the lake, he would have good camouflage. Hard to see. If he swam up, 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 and the predator looked up, see how his belly is yellowish color? It's more camouflaged against the sunshine. So that's his camouflage.
What color eyes?
His eyes are
Yellow.
brown and yellow, kind of like the stripes on the side of his head. Or black and yellow, I should say. Kind of match the side, the skin on the side of his head. Camouflaged eyes, I guess. Right?
Then we have the last turtle.
Now, the last turtle, remember I said they came from 3 different places?
Yeah.
So this one is, the next one is not from the forest, not from a lake.
And it's a dry one.
I don't know, we'll have to pick it up and look. Let's see. Do we think it's a walking turtle or a swimming turtle? Swimming turtle. Now, tortoises are in general land turtles. So this looks like a swimming turtle. We look at it and we say, wow, it's got big flipper feet to help it swim. So it's got these big wide feet.
It's ticklish.
Yeah, it was ticklish. It pulled its leg in. This is the northern diamondback terrapin, but
It's
it
smiling.
doesn't live in a lake. It lives in, it swims, but it swims in a different kind of place. So what other kind of places of water do you know?
The ocean. Ocean.
It's not the ocean. Ah, a little closer than the ocean.
The bay.
The bay, very good.
What's in the bag?
That's where in the bag is some papers for your teacher. So this is a bay turtle. So it doesn't go in the ocean, but out in the bay, the water's kind of salty. It's got some salty ocean water mixed with some rainwater coming down the rivers. And it makes a kind of water called brackish water out in the bay. And that's what this turtle lives in. Now, you probably won't see this kind of turtle unless you're out in a boat, because he almost never comes out of water. They swim, they stick their nose out to breathe. You might see like their nose sticking out of the bag, but mostly they stay in water. There's one special time when this turtle comes out of water, when the female comes out of water, the mom. So what do you think? What do you think is going on if the mom comes out of water?
To get food.
Well, they eat the crabs and the fish down in the bay.
To lay the egg.
Lay their eggs. They have to bring the eggs up out of the water so that the embryo in the egg doesn't drown. So they come out of the water, they dig a hole, lay the eggs, cover it up and kind of camouflage it. Then they go back in the bay, and the sunshine keeps the eggs warm. And when the little turtles have grown, have developed enough, they hatch out of the eggs, they crawl up out of the nest,
And they go in the water.
and they go in the water, they find their own food, and they're on their own from the time they're born. Yes?
The mother of the turtles, they should lay their eggs near the water, because or else they'll get eaten.
They do them close enough to the water so that the little baby turtles can get back to the water, but they don't want to put them real close to the water, because sometimes if a storm pushes a wave up on them, you don't want to drown the nest out. So pretty close to the water, yeah.
Look at the heads are spun in.
Yeah. Now, what else was I going to say about you? That's what I was going to say. Thank you. I was going to point out the turtle's face. Because this turtle does look like it's smiling, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, if I turn around and look at your teacher, she's smiling too. But sometimes, if you guys aren't listening well, then she gets really sad or mad. And we can tell that because what happened with your teacher's face?
Happy.
How do you
He
know?
blinks at me. Smile.
What's changing on your
That's what
teacher's
he did to
face?
me. It doesn't look the same. He did to me.
It doesn't look the same because her lips change shape. Now, what turtles' lips, yeah, they can blink. Their turtles' lips can't make a smile because turtles don't have lips.
Then how
They have a beak,
His eyes closed.
and their beak is because they don't have any teeth. Turtles use their beak to bite their food.
I know he had
And if they're
it.
a snapping turtle, they might use their beak to snap or protect themselves with. So this turtle's beak is always the same shape, always looks like a smile. Yeah.
I saw a turtle shell wash up on the beach. It was big. It was big.
Oh, sea turtle? Yeah, turtles that live in the ocean can get very, very big
And it washed up.
because the ocean is very, very big.
That's a snake.
Yep. Now, in the other case here, I have a snake, another reptile, a different shape than our turtles, of course.
Not again.
But the snake will have scaly skin because it's a reptile. And snakes
They
lay
always
eggs.
come in bags.
And I bring it in the nice soft pillowcase so I can have a look and see where it is. And I say, oh, there you are.
Oh no.
When I went to leave this morning, John, who was packing up the animals for me, he looked in the tank of the corn snake, he picked her up, and he looked at her and he said, nope, not today, because she was shedding. She was shedding her skin. He could, that's from 2 other snakes. He could tell that the corn snake was shedding because she wasn't so shiny anymore. And also the skin comes loose from their eyes, so their eyes get kind of blue. So we put the corn snake back to let her shed in peace, because sometimes they get a little grumpy. And he said, I'll give you the king snake. So this is a king snake. And again, it's an eastern king snake, not a cobra, king.
It's like the queen of the king.
There is also a snake called queen snake, but this is the king snake. Even if it's male or female, they're still king snakes. This is a female. What is on my shirt? Uh-oh.
They peed on you.
Somebody did something on my shirt. You'll edit this out, I hope?
Peed on you. No, he spit on you.
So, king snakes get their name because they sometimes will eat other snakes. So they're like king of the snakes.
Or they can eat mouse.
They can also eat a mouse, or an egg, or a small chipmunk. What?
Why is he not trying to bite you?
Because
He doesn't bite.
she knows that I'm not dangerous and I don't smell like food. Now what they're going to do is they'll try to find their food by using mostly their sense of smell, because they have pretty poor eyesight. They don't have any ears, they can't hear the mouse squeak, but they stick out their tongue to gather the smell. So they grab the smell with their tongue and they bring the smell back into their mouth.
So they can smell if it's food or not.
Inside their mouth, in the top, is the Jacobson's organ. People don't have that, but snakes do. So they use their tongue to gather smell. See how the tongue is long and skinny?
Yeah.
And it's a forked tongue. It looks like the letter Y.
Yeah.
So it's got 2 points on the end. Now when they smell
Why
food
does it go like this?
with the tongue, to kind of grab wherever the smell is. Might be here, might be there. Yeah, it kind of flings it around. When they smell their food, they will wiggle there. Actually, they go really fast when they're traveling. And then they'll grab it with their little teeth. Now this snake doesn't have fangs. It's not venomous. It's got little teeth just to hold on. And then they'll grab the mouse, wrap their body around it, and they squeeze until they kill it, until they suffocate it. Then they can open their mouth, bigger than their head, bigger than that. Opens way back to here, it stretches here, it stretches over here, and they swallow that mouse whole. Now they can only eat things they can eat whole. So they can't take a bite. They can eat small things, but they just can't eat huge things, really big things.
How about like a middle size, like meatballs?
Meatballs. They probably wouldn't understand what a meatball is. I don't think they'd recognize meat. Yeah, but I think their brain probably knows things like mice and eggs. I didn't bring one. Snakes, in fact, don't eat that often. They eat only every couple weeks.
Too. Every once a week?
Every week or two, maybe not even for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now, snakes, when they eat, they're going to grow bigger. When they need to get bigger, they're going to grow a new skin. The old skin is going to come loose. So the new skin is inside the old one.
Baby stink, like your teeth are like a baby.
Oh, you got new teeth. And they got new skin. So this is from the corn snake, which is smaller. But the skin on the outside comes loose, the snake wiggles out of it, and then this is left back in the tank. You can see, like on the big stairs, so every scale, there's the back, there's the belly, and I think this is the piece even with the head, yes it is. And right there, you can see there's the part that came from the head.
And the
And the
eyes.
2 little little scales that protect the eyes.
You live too.
Yeah, and I also brought, we took a couple of the skins and to protect them, we put them in a laminating machine and put them in plastic. These are our 2 bigger snakes. This is a black rat here on the left and a northern pine snake, black rat snake on the left and a northern pine snake on the right.
One baby. How do you find these big snakes?
They live in the nature center. You can come and visit them. Now, if you could pass that around and try to be careful with it, because I do like having that part with the head. It's kind of cool.
Where's the head? Don't break. It's the one that looks like a bacon.
Yeah, it kind of curls up. You have to unroll it a little bit. Now, in this, if we went outside and we looked around the woods behind your school, we wouldn't find turtles and snakes today. Because turtles and snakes are getting ready for wintertime.
I know. How do they keep your?
What do you think they're going to do to protect themselves from winter? They're going to hide, and it's a special kind of hiding. Hibernation. So they go down low enough, protected enough so that they don't get by the snow and by where the ground freezes, and they pretty much, it's like really, really deep sleep, but they kind of shut down till the springtime. Now our snake won't because we have a heater in his tank, her tank. But right now she's trying to get warm from my arm. And that's why she's all curling up like that.
She just wants.
Yeah, I think
What if she was on here?
Summer camps and boat tours. I think it's time to redo this. But there is some other information. If your teacher can make copies, it'll tell your parents that you can come and watch turtle feeding at 1:30 and how to get where we're located, what kinds of things you can do there. And on the back there's a coloring picture of turtles and a snake.
Can you put it on the ground so
No, actually I'm going to put it back in the bag and go see another class. So that is for you.
That is, you just brought one snake.
One snake. Yep, she kind of takes up the whole bag. They don't share the bag as well as the turtles.
They fight like fevers.
Yeah, I think they wouldn't. And the other thing now, a long time ago, one time a king snake got loose at Cattus Island. Long time, before you were born. Got loose inside the nature center. And the security guard said, I'll help them out. And when they found it, they put it back in the tank. But they put the snake in the tank with the king snake. And what did I tell you about king snakes? They're king of the snakes because sometimes they eat other snakes. So what happened in the morning? When the security guard put the snake in, there were 2 snakes. And when the people got in the morning, there was just one fat and happy snake.